What's up, guys? You are on the air and off the books with Beth Ann and Samantha, and today we have a guest here. We have Caele, and we are all here to tell you about how Bookopoly is going, or how maybe it's not going.
It's going.
It's.
Oh my god.
You know what? We're all doing great.
No, it's so much fun. Kinda. Yeah,
it is fun.
We should read off these. I think the score for Jesse is incorrect though. But we'll read off the scoreboard for you so you kind of know where everybody's kind of at this point. Well, they went really hard, guys. We didn't really think that we'd be in these kind of numbers yet, but here we are. So I have 810 points so far. Bravo to me. I didn't think I'd be here.
Ooh, Ben, insert some kind of round of applause sound effect.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
We do not have any money in the budget for sound effects.
Oh, I need my applause button on my phone.
Yeah, I know. Your little... And then Samantha has 1,800.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay.
It's fine.
That's cute.
It's whatever. Trisha is at 1,702. Candace is at 1,114. Doug is at 1,065. Brittany is at 1,415. Jessie should be about probably 1,000, I think, because she keeps forgetting to update the list. I'm going to remind her when I go back out there. And then Caele is at 1,895 in the lead.
For now.
So,
For now, yeah.
Until I finish my book tomorrow.
yes. So we've all been rolling and having all these crazy prompts, and at one point I was in jail, and I had to pay 300 points to get out, or I would have way more points. Because, listen, I don't want to read a book and not get points for it.
Yeah, I feel that.
That's fair.
I mean, I know I had to give up points, but, like, in the long run, like...
You can earn them back.
Yeah, I'm too slow to be sitting around reading books that aren't worth things.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Those are just facts.
Preach.
Preach.
I DNF'd my book on my prompt, this current prompt I'm on, which is read a book that involves discovery, which is really, I feel like, really easy because who doesn't discover something?
Okay.
You know,
that's a
in a
little
book.
loose for me.
No.
She's just like, everybody, look at the sky is blue. There's the discovery.
But like, if you like discover a dead body, discovery.
Okay.
So I landed on that prompt as well. I think that was either my first or second. I landed on discovery and adventure, like, back to back, and I read the first two books of the Dark Tower series because I feel like they both fit that theme really, really well. Like, he's discovering the truth of the Dark Tower, and he's, like, going on this adventure to meet the people who will help him and then to find the Dark Tower, and so I feel like they fit the theme, like...
Mine fits the theme better now. It's the third book in the Empyrean series, Onyx Storm. All the things are being discovered, so literally every chapter, discovery.
Have you guys started reading that yet? Because it's all over social media.
Yes. I DNF'd Ninth House.
I'm surprised by that.
I was on 30%, and I feel like absolutely nothing had happened. It was like,
right?
it was very, like, much flatline for me. No, like, no climax. No...
Have you DNF'd anything yet for your prompt?
I have not. No, and I had an opportunity where people were encouraging me to DNF. It was one where I had to close my eyes and let someone lead me out into the stacks to pick a book out of a section at random. And initially, Justin led me to a book that, like, I really, really did not want to read, but it turned out it wasn't long enough, so I didn't, like, I immediately had Alex take me out to the stacks. That's another employee here. And Alex was trying to lead me to the, like, environmental section, like recycling and stuff like that, but he couldn't remember where it was.
The art of recycling.
Right. And so
600 pages.
Instead, he led me to this, like, psychiatry section. So I read this book on the history of psychiatry, which is as exciting as it sounds.
At least you didn't have to read, like, an entire, like a SAT book or anything like that. That would be helpful.
That's the problem with some of these prompts, though, is, like, you really have to, like, be careful with who you choose to be able to be, like, a part of this, because they can really sabotage you. Like this, I just finished. Wait, what did I?
I feel like we're all too scared to sabotage each other now because Candace is so nice.
Yeah.
And now she's got this expectation of us that we can't be mean. And so now I feel like I'm obligated to just be as nice as possible.
When I got to choose for Candace, like, because she is so nice, like, I was like, I'm going to take this so seriously. I'm going to pick a book that I think she's really going to want to read and she's going to enjoy it. Like, I took that very seriously.
Yeah, she deserves it.
Yeah,
She's the little ray of sunshine in the whole rip out each other's throats competition.
I'm not saying that if Beth Ann gets that prompt and I get picked that she is not going to be reading a romantasy.
No. See?
But
if I had gotten to choose for Beth Ann, it would have been Red Rising.
I'm going to read it. I'll read it.
But you don't like it.
I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just I can't get into it right now for some reason.
Oh,
It's not calling to my soul.
Listen.
You know?
If you don't get into a book by, I believe, this is my belief, if you can't get into a book by the 5th chapter,
You DNF'd a book at 30%.
DNF. Yeah, I really wanted to like it.
Like, the Laurel, though, in Red Rising happens, like, so early. Like, there's, like that's, like, not even consequential. Like, it's so early.
Yeah, I started, I think I'm on, like, chapter 7 or something like that. And, like, everybody says, oh, you're right up into the point where everything kind of, like, hits the fan. And I'm like, okay, but come on.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it already. And I don't know if it's just because, like, I just got done reading. Whoa, this chair about dumped me out of it. I just got done reading a space opera, and I'm a little, like, wore out on the sadness of loss, and I just know she's gonna die. I just know she's gonna die. She's gonna get taken, or she's gonna die, or she's gonna get taken, and then he's gonna find out later on in the whole series that she was actually this bad guy, but I loved you, and how could you betray me because I thought we were made for each other, and then it's gonna be this whole betrayal story, and then dude is just gonna lose it, and it's gonna be great, but I'm not ready.
Is it a romance?
It's got romance in it.
There's,
He
like,
loves her, obviously.
A little romance element. Like, it's honestly minimal. At least in the first book, the romance element is so minimal.
I think it just establishes the importance of who she is as a character to the main character.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that they do that and they show, like, his dedication of love to her and their commitment at a very young age to be together. That they're amping up the loss.
Cute. So cute.
They're amping up the loss. I just know it's going to happen. And,
Alrighty.
yeah. So I'll read it. It's just not, it's not time. And I also had landed on, what did I land on? I landed on a prompt that said that I had to pick a player to choose a book, and I chose Candace because I know her the least. And she picked the book, The Borrowed Life of Frederick Fife, by Anna Johnston. And I don't know what it's about. But the first paragraph talks about him peeing in a cracked
perfect
toilet.
for you.
It's hilarious.
Perfect.
Male humor. Beth Ann.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I think I might like this book because it just says the single drop of pee made a pitiful splash, and I was like, yeah, I think I'll like this. And I have no idea what it's about. I'm just gonna go in and read it blind. I'm glad that we had one on the shelf because everything else has a major holds list, so I snagged this large print copy. So if you want to read it, you'll just have to wait on me. I'm a little slow, guys.
I will say I feel like I'm, like, really strict about the page count. Because Candace asked if she could, like, make an exception. Okay, but here's my thing. If we make an exception for one thing, then somebody could be like...
233 pages.
But then somebody could be like, well, mine...
20 pages.
It's 215.
Yeah.
Mine's 215.
No,
Can you make an exception for mine? And then we're jerks if we say no.
But she was so excited about recommending the book to me. She said, that's the one I really want her to read.
You're amazing, Candace, but I gotta put my foot down.
Samantha's over here like, now we've got to be nice and we can't be mean, blah, blah, blah. But here she is being mean to you, Candace.
Listen, a rule is a rule, okay? Gotta follow them rules.
We've plenty of rules for people.
No, can't do it. Page count, strict.
No, but there have been a couple times where we've had to
Adjust.
clarify the rules.
Yes.
Like what happened with Brittany, where she picked you to read a book with her, and then it was like, can she move on?
Yeah.
until
yeah.
the person she picked also finishes the book.
Right.
And we determined that you cannot move on from that prompt until the person you buddy
No,
read
you can
with,
roll again, but you can't get the
You can't
don't
get the points.
until that person finishes.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because
Well, I get
it's a
it.
buddy read.
But it's kind of a disadvantage to whoever picks me because I'm really slow.
Yeah.
So nobody's ever gonna pick me again, which is fine. But also, I got the points for also reading that with her.
Yeah. So
I
it's
think she
kind
rolled
of
doubles.
you're kind of just putting yourself at a loss if you don't finish the book.
Look, I'm just gonna say you probably want to pick me because I powered my way through this psychiatry book.
You did.
Because I wanted those points.
I was so impressed.
If I can get through that, I
You
feel
get
like
through
I can get through
anything.
Yeah, you're better than me. I would have been like DNF.
I probably would have been like, I can't
No,
do this.
I didn't want to go back that many points. I didn't want to lose.
Yeah, 500 points is quite a bit, especially right now, because it really can make or break the. I mean, 300 points put me all the way back down into the hundreds when everybody else is in the thousands.
Yeah.
And I kind of regret it, but at the same time, like, I can't. Like, I know me as a reader, and I can't waste the time, or I'm just going to be behind anyway. So why not take the loss, be behind right now, but then have the opportunity to read for points next? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to be strategic.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I know I'm going to lose, but I'm trying not to lose that bad.
I just don't want to put myself into a reading slump and then be like, well, now I just don't have the energy or the
Mental awareness.
mental capacity to open up a book right now because
Yeah.
I'm so drained.
Well, yeah. So I think between this competition and then I've been making granny squares for every book I read this year.
Oh, that's cool.
And both of these things are making it so I'm like, oh, I've got to read all these books and I've got to get through them so fast because, like, I want to get the points and I want to make my next granny square. So I've read 9 books this month, and it will at least have been 10 by the end of next week. It will have at least been 10. And I've never read that many books in a month. Ever.
Yeah,
Oh,
same.
that's
I think
like
I'm
so
on
many.
7, and I'm usually like maybe 2
Yeah.
a month.
Right,
Really?
right. Like 2 is like, I feel like 2 is a lot.
Is a
too.
reasonable
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
I've definitely read more than 10 books in a month. But I'm also changed as a person as I've gotten older, and I've slowed down quite a bit.
Well, and you have
Quite a
kids. Like
Yeah.
both of you have kids, and you work, and you know.
I can
Yes.
binge a series. Like if I find a really
It
good
just
series,
depends, yeah.
I'll be like bust them out in a day.
Because there are some books that I get that I'm just like, this is amazing, and I just devour them
Yeah.
at all the cost to my sleep. But, like, it's just so rare nowadays to find something that's so
Yeah.
amazing that you just want to...
If I have to like justify why I like this book, like while I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, no, Samantha, you love this book. You really, really like it. And I'm just like, not even getting past like the 3rd chapter. Just got a DNF.
Have you guys gotten any 5 stars so far this month?
Let me
Yes.
pull up my story graph, which I'm, obviously not getting paid by story graph, but I will say
I mean,
that
if you want to sponsor
But
us.
you should pay us.
story graph, we are
Also, Goodreads pay me too.
Yeah, Goodreads can sponsor us, too. I mean, we're open for that.
No, so I'm pulling mine up to see like what I've read this month, and
I gave All Shall Mourn a 5. I know that.
Yes, which drops
Ellie
on
Marney.
February
5th.
5th. You should pick that up. It's the last book in the series. Ellie was able to self-publish. You can get that on ebook, and we will also have a copy in the library once that's available in a physical edition.
I also gave Drowning by T.J. Newman a 5.
Oh, the plain book, which is shocking.
Yes. I like to make myself terrified, I guess. I like to just be
Considering
in
that's one of your
horror.
biggest fears. It's odd
Yeah.
that you gave a 5.
I gave Katsuo Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go 5 stars.
Oh,
It made me
yeah.
really sad. I knew it would because I recognized right away that this, like, I'd seen this movie years and years ago, and it was like the saddest movie I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
And so I knew it was going to just leave me feeling so depressed. And I was right, but it was really good, and I would definitely recommend it if you're into, like, kind of literary science fiction, this kind of, like, what is consciousness, what defines, like, humanity, and, where do we draw the line between, like, giving a sentient being rights or just exploiting them. Like, if you're into anything like that, I would recommend it.
I think Trisha recommended that to us. So
Yeah.
I'll read it. Maybe I'll get to read it during this endeavor that is Bookopoly.
I just hope I don't have to read a Western or nonfiction at any point of time.
So I discovered something beautiful about the Shrinks book, the psychiatry book. I read the first 50 pages one night, and then I went to sleep right away. It always takes me so long to fall asleep. I was like, reading nonfiction is the best sleep drug I've ever discovered.
Is it because it was boring?
It's mental exhaustion.
Boring. At first, it was really boring. I ended up learning so much. Honestly, I was telling Ben and all of our friends about, the history, and he was like, please stop talking about this. But I ended up going and checking out another nonfiction book, just kind of, randomly found a section. And
You're like, this is going to make me sleep.
Yes, if it will help me sleep, I'll do it. I will.
That's awesome.
You found the cure.
You guys should get you a game board, a blank game board, make you a Bookopoly, and play.
The cure to insomnia is reading nonfiction.
Yeah.
But if you're a nonfiction reader, the cure to your insomnia is fiction.
It's fiction.
So just give it a try. You're welcome. We're out here solving more problems.
What's the most boring fiction book you've ever read?
Oh. That's a good question. I'm a high writer. Does that make sense? I have a tendency not to rate things low because I always go into things. I never finish things that I know that I'm never going to like. So I'm wondering what that, I don't know.
I think for me, maybe Ayn Rand's The Fountainhead. I really, I slogged through it, did not enjoy the process. It was very boring.
I'm really picky about what I read.
A lot of literary fiction is really hard on me nowadays. Now that I'm out of college, it's just not something I gravitate towards because I had to ingest so much. No, I guess that wasn't boring. It just wasn't. Maybe it was boring for me. Is it Strangers on a Train or something like that? By the person who wrote The Talented Mr. Ripley, Patricia Highsmith. I think it would be a really, really good book for people. I think people would really like it. It's just about two guys who trade murders. They trade each other's murders. And it's actually interesting, but to me it was just so... I don't know, it's literary fiction. If you really love literary fiction, I'm sorry. I just think it kind of drones for me. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I would say anything, because I'm really picky about fantasy. It's got to have a romance. So anything dry fantasy.
Anything I read, she hates.
Dry fantasy. Unless it's a show. I could do a show. I just can't read it.
Yeah. I just think that you just haven't found a fantasy book that you really, really
maybe.
like yet.
I don't know. Maybe. But I what's the book that you tried to get me to read that I read 50% and I was I can't go anymore? Yeah, Warbreaker for me.
Dang,
and Nolan was the same way though. He didn't like it either.
I think you gaslight Nolan into liking what you like.
No, he reads all kinds of stuff.
But that's why I don't believe that he doesn't like it, because Nolan likes everything. He gives a 5-star to everything.
We're gonna get him on the podcast.
It took me an entire year. I was listening to it, which is a mistake for me because I don't do well with audiobooks to begin with. I have to be in a very specific situation where I'm doing dishes or folding laundry, and that's the only way I can listen to nonfiction. So it took me a year to read Warbreaker or listen to Warbreaker. And I enjoyed it, but it took me a year.
Yeah. See, after that long, if it's taken me more than a month to read a book, I'm this is not worth it to me. It's not good.
I will admit that it took me a few months to get through because I'm so slow.
And it's huge.
It is big. It's one of the bigger books that I've tried to tackle. But I loved the suspense and the development of the characters and the development of the world, and the thing about Warbreaker that I think is just so great is that it's all in one book, and that Brandon Sanderson has these troves in these huge, long, massive series of books that he just on and on and on and on and on. And if you want a taste of who he is and the best of what he does, it's Warbreaker.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
And it's just it's a perfect example of what they call a Sanderlanche, when everything just kind of comes out of the woodwork and falls on your head and you're just open mouth, what the heck is happening?
Yeah.
It's just good. And I'm sorry if you don't like it. You're wrong.
I think it was too much. I don't want information. I like world building, but I do not want information overload. because then I'll start skipping.
I think it's just information that you don't care about. That you,
Yeah. Like, I
care
want
about those things, like the world and the magic system and stuff like that. You're more
I
invested
care
in, like,
about that, but, like, I don't want it described in, like, 20 pages. Like, for one thing, I'm like, girl.
I love that.
Guy, whoever you are. You gotta condense this.
Like, cut it down.
Cut it down.
So
I'm
skipping.
skipping.
What are they over there doing?
I'm going to the last page of the chapter now.
It just shows that everybody has different reading tastes, and that's okay.
I just gotta bust out a book.
What are you reading now?
Bust it out. Onyx Storm.
A billion-page book.
It's like 572.
Psh.
It's pretty average.
I'm like, oh shoot, it's only
average
250 pages.
Average
That's
book for
great,
me.
Perfect.
It's like 600 pages.
This book is like 336 pages, and I'm like,
I subject myself
I can do this.
to this. I'm like 600. This is a novella.
Storygraph was telling me that my books are like right around 300 pages. That's about average for what I'm reading.
I think it said something to me like mine's in the 200s or something like that. Like, I really love a short story.
I am almost done, and this is another book that has taken me over a year to read.
Gravity's
It's
Rainbow.
Gravity's Rainbow.
Oh my.
And
Are you guys almost done for real?
But do you like it?
I don't know that anyone can. I think Justin will say that he likes it.
I think he likes it. This is his second read through.
So I don't know that I can say yes or no until I'm done, because I think, like, first off, I need to see how it comes together, and then I need to be able to, like, discuss it and read all the Reddit posts about it, and I need to, like, understand it better before I can say yes.
Do you think that he likes it, or do you think he's gaslighting himself?
No, I think
Justin
he
genuinely
likes to feel like a challenge. Like, he wants to be challenged by what he's reading.
I think he also enjoys the intellectual conversation of it.
Yes.
I think that's the appeal, is that it's much more than a book. It really makes you discuss and think and take a step back. And, like, Justin is way more intelligent in his reading than I am.
I just want to be thrown into a fantasy world, or I want, like,
You want
murder
escapism.
bodies
wants
to happen, or I don't know.
Experience and learn things and, like, dissect things.
Justin is genuinely
a true librarian.
the smartest,
He's a true
most intelligent person that I know, like, personally. Like, he just, like, he is very intelligent, and, like, his reading tastes
Reflect that.
are just, like, so high.
I do
Yeah,
want to throw
I agree.
out that he is reading Onyx Storm right now,
Oh, wow.
and he was very excited about it. He made me bring in my copy
Wow.
so he could start it today. So
He's a very eclectic reader.
if he tells you that he doesn't like ACOTAR or Fourth Wing, he's lying.
He will tell you that it's okay.
No, he will tell you that he liked it a lot.
I didn't know Justin had read ACOTAR.
He did,
Yeah,
and he
okay.
liked it.
He told me it was okay.
I think he's lying. I think
I think
he's
I
trying
like
to like maintain his cool factor, and he's like, I can't let anybody know.
3 books. I can't remember. It was just too much. I don't like it. It was too much.
You don't like any romance, though.
No.
So it's
God.
not for you.
I don't either. I'm not into romance.
I think I would like romance if it was a little bit more like of a realistic matter, like more of like a real life thing. But these fantasy romances, this just whole like faded blah blah blah, and like seeing you across the room and like this weird like
Holding in the breath I didn't know I
he was holding and like these weird like guttural growls coming out of
Yes,
people's
the
bodies and like how
dark
like
eyes.
yeah, and these
Yeah.
bodily descriptions that aren't just
mysterious,
realistic.
mysterious fae.
Well, and for me,
Hearts.
I need closed door all the way. I do not want any description of what is going on.
No,
Behind,
I mean I
what
don't
should
care
be a
about it.
closed door.
Yeah, I don't personally care about it.
I like the build up.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, but then you have some books that's all that it is, and you're just like, can you just, or what do you do? Like the tension is so it's almost
It's so
stupid.
cute.
It's almost childish. Like you obviously know he's staring at you. Get up and be an adult and talk to him. Shut up and go
No,
over there and be
but
like,
they
you're
need-
staring. Do you like me or not? Like
They need
hello.
to be in a situation where there's only one bed, or
Yeah.
Oh please.
Which is a
Force them
trope.
in these weird situations, and then somebody sleeps on the couch anyway. dude, what a waste, man. Like, we all know. We're all here watching.
Listen, you're going to have a lot of people coming at you.
I know. Hey,
Go for
we're
it.
ready for it. We're ready for it.
How dare they trash ACOTAR? We're not listening to this podcast ever again.
You all know how I feel about it. Listen,
Okay, but I still think that you would like Fourth Wing because dragons.
I've tried.
You have not tried.
I have.
You have not read
Yes,
Fourth
I
Wing.
have.
No,
I
she has not.
I have the audiobook, and I'm like 30% through it, and I don't like it.
It's
They're
amazing.
so childish.
The first
And
book was white. It was kind of white.
She is sitting down getting her hair braided to go into this college, and the only thing that her sister can talk to her about is getting laid. That's all her sister can talk to her about. You're about to die. You're about to literally fall off a cliff and die, and all you can think about is your first kiss. Are you crazy?
Sometimes that's
Just
what's
take
important.
all the opportunities and meet all the guys and just do it with everybody. And that's literally her advice to her. And I'm like, how about hold on to this rock instead of that rock, climbing up the parapet, and if you say
she'll be
parapet
fine.
one more time,
That's
I
how
swear
Ben
on
felt.
everything.
Ben tried
My
to
God.
listen to it, and he was like, the word parapet comes up more
So
than any other word.
I love it.
Damn.
And I know that
And then
all
her
you guys
sleek
listening will too.
bodysuit and like all this
Their
tight
uniforms.
blah blah blah. I'm like, look at her sexy.
Because you're flying on a dragon. Do you want to be wearing
She's not flying.
baggy pants?
She's not
Okay,
flying a
okay.
dragon yet. Listen.
All right. Let's all be friends here. No.
Bethan hates romantasy. That's the conclusion.
That's the moral of this story.
No, but I think it's great that this competition kind of encourages us to read a little bit about what we do want to read, but also kind of get out of our comfort zone a little bit too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Like, obviously when I started, I was trying to figure out good ways to like incorporate the books I already wanted to read into my prompts, which worked out really well with Discovery and Adventure. But then like obviously the psychiatry book, I would never ever have picked that up.
Yeah.
And even this book, like, I got the prompt today where I had to pick a book off a display, and 2 of our displays are nonfiction, which I'm like, please, I need a break.
Spare me.
Yeah, DNF. Give me the
Right?
negative
Just like,
500.
we can't do this. Yeah, because like Doug had to land on a spot to read Romantasy, and he also doesn't like Romantasy either. And so I recommended him The Clockwork Boys by T. Kingfisher, which I've talked about a lot on here, which has Romantasy in it, but it's a lot more of like a regular normal fantasy basis. And he gave it a 4 stars, which I was really shocked about because I thought it was going to be like a 2 or a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But he really enjoyed the characters, the character development, and it was just enough romance for him to be able to get through. And so now his new prompt that he's reading, from the villain's perspective, he confirmed with me so that he could read the second book in the series so that he can go on, which I was like, okay, all right, yeah, I think that would qualify for it. So it was able to like push him forward too and be like, okay, I've never,
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know Brittany, this is all outside of her comfort zone. So
Yeah, because she only reads fan fiction mostly.
she does. She really likes fan fiction. And so she was very excited to get on board to be able to read a bunch of different things. And she's actually sitting pretty high up there.
Yeah.
14, 15.
I'm so surprised Trisha hasn't
I know.
rolled more. She was like on a roll for a hot
She
minute.
devours books, man. She just speeds through stuff, and she's so competitive.
Well, and
So
she said that
surprised.
like she doesn't plan to read books outside of the prompts, although she runs the Well-Read and Badly Behaved, so I think she's gonna end up reading at least that many books. But I think like she's just making this a point for this whole year. Like her life is revolving around this contest.
It makes me wonder if we're going to end up reading more this year than we ever have before.
I
Purely
probably will.
because of the competition of everything, because you were saying like you've read 9 books already, like
Yeah.
that's pretty huge. Or if we'll like kind of peter off towards the end, like how long will the competition last, like the competitive spirit. We still haven't picked a prize because our
Yeah, we
fearless
need to do
leaders
that.
haven't decided yet. Doug, I'm calling you out. What's our prize, Doug?
Hey,
Tell
I can
us.
make everyone granny squares.
Yeah. Well,
I want that to be cake, but I know that it's not cake.
Okay, no, but I could make a cake that
Cake.
then Trisha could come in and decorate.
Feels
the
like it
cake.
should be a cake.
Oh yeah.
I feel like you're right. It should be.
Yeah, like a granny square. Like, you know, you go to your grandma's house and she's like, eat this.
Ooh, it reminds me of those like little like
a
pink.
Petit Four type.
Yeah, like little Debbie's with the
Ooh,
little
yeah.
like a zebra cake, but they're the pink ones.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Or like just like a fig Newton and your grandma's like, eat
Or
this, it's
just
so good.
Like sweets in general. Yeah. Now we're getting off track.
Eat my granny square.
So
You'll love it.
So you guys should tell us about what you're reading next if you're participating in your own Bookopoly. If you want to use any of our prompts that we have, what are the prompts that you guys have right now?
Mine is read a book about discovery.
Mine was to find a book at on display, so you could head to any of our locations, Maine, South, or Brucheville, and check out the displays. We always have such fun displays, honestly.
And if you can't get out, we have carousels online
Yes.
of displays that you can choose from
Yes.
as well. And then, what was my prompt?
Oh,
Have somebody choose a book for you. And so that's why I'm reading The Borrowed Life. So if you want to use any of those prompts to spur your TBR or to get you motivated, there's time. You got all year.
Yeah,
All
let
year.
us know. Like, comment. Let us know what you're reading.
Yeah, please. Head off the books at khcpl.org.
And then join us for our next Bookopoly update. Well, I think our next podcast, we're going to be talking about All Shall Mourn by Ellie Marney.
Ellie Marney. So that will be during the release, and then we'll
Yes.
do some updates for you as well for Bookopoly. So we'll
Yes.
stay on top of everything because everybody's moving at a cheetah's pace. And it's all going to change by then. So
Next time you hear us, we'll have 6,000 points.
yes, and two black eyes.
That's probably accurate, yeah.
It's going to be great.
I might have fought Kaylee at that point for first place. Kaylee might have a black eye. I might have a black eye. We don't
Look.
know what's going to happen yet.
I want to fight fair, so if I have to stay up every single night reading through the
She
night,
will.
I will. I'll come in, I will have black eyes because I'll have like the circles under my eyes from not getting any sleep.
I'm going to quit just to read, and then I'll just come back.
Yes, yeah.
See, I'm in last place, so I don't really. I'm good.
My goal is to not come in last. I would like to come in first. I just know that in May that's probably going to tank really badly, so my expectations are like middle.
I will win. It's not even like what I want. I will.
You better ask Trisha about
I was
that.
gonna say, yeah. Also, Doug, I think, wants to win as well.
Yeah, well.
He got
Doug better
some
step it up.
trouble with donating a bunch of points. He was very frustrated.
Yeah.
So he's been in some pitfalls. His first role was donating points. So
Am manifesting landing on free parking soon, so you guys don't have to worry about landing on that.
I think I need free parking. I'm behind, so I need to catch up with everybody. So that's
We'll
fine.
see. You guys can find out if that happens next time.
Dragon Ball Z.
Join us on the Disney Channel.
I just want to shout, who's that
Cartoon
Pokemon?
Cartoon Network. Yeah, join us on one of those. And have a great rest of your day.
Bye.